Okay. Woo! So we got to the edge of that thing. To those. Um, to the stairs. To the stairs down, and so we went down, and then another flight of stairs, and so we're coming into this room here. Um, and this is a giant room, and there's t- like an insane number um, of sarcophaguses here. Um, yeah, there's 20 stone sarcophagi, arranged throughout this room, and it's pretty clear that um, somebody's been in here and looted a bunch of these. Because there's the tops are open. There's a couple that aren't open. Um, and on the map, the ones that aren't open are the ones that are have the head to the right. I don't know if you can see it on your screen. It may be too small for you, but so there's three of them that are oriented differently than the others, and there's one right here, and there's one right here, and there's one. Oh my God, where'd it go? Oh, right here. So those three are unopened right there. Okay. Um, so I think, take has learned a lesson about traps. And again, so we're going to do a perception check at the edge of this room just to see if there's any obvious traps going on. And it's a 4. So if there are traps, he has no clue. He doesn't notice them. But what he will do, I think, is go ahead and send in skeletons. Like send in the first couple here. We're gonna do some squad tactics. So they're gonna cover, and then these ones are going to advance, just in case there's any contact. These ones are going to advance. And then this one is going to maybe come up here with that one, with those two. And nothing happens. So threat timer is now a 1. And take is going to advance to these sarcophagi over here, and he's going to take a look and see what he can see. Let's go ahead and we'll do a perception roll. And a perception roll of 19, so he's looking to see what he can see. And the ones that are open, there's nothing in them. It has definitely been looted, or it never had anything decent in it. But there's bones and grave dust and dirt and that sort of stuff in there. But there's nothing much. But he is going to take a look, and as he's looking at this one that's unopened, he's going to have this skeleton come over that's wearing the harness and grab the shovel, and have these two. He's going to try to lever off the top and have those two help. So we've got 3 people helping. Let's go ahead and roll. I don't think he's got any strength bonuses. Yeah, no strength bonuses. So it's going to be basic effort against the target with help. I think let's go ahead and make it easy. Is an 8. That's not enough to open it at all. So let's go ahead and mark the threat timer down. and we forgot to get in place, but we're going to go ahead and as a GM, I'm trying to decide something. I think as a GM, what just occurred to me was that there's all these sarcophaguses with bones, sarcophagi and bones and stuff. And I think what happens here, cat, what the hell? Come on, stop it. Sorry about that if that was loud. There's all these bones. I think what happens is that the skeletons are coming from this room. There's bones all over the place, and some of the sarcophagi have bones in them. Some of the bones are dumped on the floor, but the bones just sort of gather together and animate into a skeleton, an active skeleton. And so this skeleton shows up from this room, and this is actually the room that they're coming from. And so I think what happens is it animates and sees all this activity and starts to come over, and then it hits the sphere of influence, and ends up joining the party. And I think I'd command it over here. So there's 3 and 3 and 3 currently, but that's what happens. And I think let's go ahead and get some extra skeletons over here. To help with this sarcophagus. And let's go ahead and roll. With that number of skeletons, I think, well, I rolled an 18 anyway. So I rolled an 18. Even if the shovel made it easy, it's totally the top pops off of that sucker. I think Take might, jump back a little bit when it opens, just in case. I think he's going to just jump back a little bit, just in case a skeleton pops out. But he's not too worried about it, based on what's been happening, unless we reach a limit on how many skeletons this thing can command. But so what's going to happen is it's actually going to open up, and he's going to start to wait for something to jump out, and nothing jumps out. And so he's going to go in and take a look really quick at if there's anything in this sarcophagus, ordering the skeletons off in the distance a little bit to take up positions. Okay, and so let us really quickly, we need to do so that is a 93. So he's looking in here, and there's a ring. He finds a ring. He doesn't know what that is. As the GM, I'm gonna write down what it is, but he's gonna stuff it in a sack. So we're going to just store that up. So I happen to know what it is as GM, but as player, I have no clue what that is. It's obviously something, it's valuable. It was buried with him, but I won't know what it is until doing some sort of investigation. So that's cool. Let's roll another threat timer. So threat timer of 2. And let's go ahead and I think, where was the next one? The next one was over here. So I think we're going to advance these guys to this, in front of this door. And then maybe we're going to leave these guys here, right here. And then we're going to advance everybody else up to this first one. Oh, wait. Well, okay, hold on. I'm going to have these 3 join me over here, and we're all going to try and open it together. With the with the shovel and everything. We're all going to pitch in together and try and open it up. So let's go ahead and do some basic effort against the target. Is a 14, so that is definitely a success. And so we've popped that open, and I think Take will do the same thing. Abundance of caution, jump back and make sure nothing comes out. When nothing comes out, he's going to go in and examine and take a look and see what's up in there. And I think with all that effort, that's enough for the countdown timer to come down one more. So let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to search in there. And let's go ahead and look. What did we get? That was a 20. And there's a jug of some kind with some sort of liquid in it. So I'm going to make a note. I suppose I should have marked what the number was. On that other one. Hold on a second. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so we have a note of what that is. It's a jug with some sort of liquid in it. Who knows what? I'm not going to bother opening it, I don't think. Just put it into that one skeleton's harness, and we did the count down. Oh, I lost track. Screw it. So we'll just do the countdown timer, and out of somewhere in the corner, one of the corners, a skeleton animates, starts to march forward, and then becomes under the sphere of influence of that necklace, and joins the freaking party. Come on, don't. You're just gonna leap up and hit the mic again, and it's gonna be annoying. Why are you doing that, kitty? Okay, so I think that means that we're gonna move to this other one. Let's go ahead and roll a threat timer. And so that's a 3. So threat timer, countdown timer 3. And so we're moving to this last one. All of these other skeletons are going to come around. Getting a little crowded in here. Maybe that one won't join us over there, but we'll get as many of these as we can to help. Let's roll, make it roll easy. and a 17. So that was a success. Sorry, I keep forgetting. That was a 17. So let's go ahead and roll. On that table and see what we find. And it's some kind of scroll with some writing and stuff on it. Wow, nice. Number. Okay. Okay, so we'll find out what that is later. But it's kind of cool. Okay, so that's everything. I think he's gonna take one last look around the room and kind of see if maybe there's anything. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do threat timer. That was enough activity to count. So let's do threat timer 2. So he's going to take another look around the room and see what can be seen, if anything. Make sure he didn't miss anything. And it's a 19. So that's, well, modified 20. Let's go ahead and take a look really quick. That's actually really appropriate. So as he's looking around, he notices on one of the archways above the. So let's say it's actually against this door that he's right near. That above that is some carvings, etched into the stone, and is a in some sort of ancient language, and let's just give it to him, even though it's maybe it's not his native language, but maybe the power of the skeletons, like they are able to translate it into his mind. And it says, "Rise up, warriors, take your stand at one another's sides," which is perfect for this room, right? Because that's actually what's happening, as all of these skeletons are coming up from this room. And I think that we're going to go ahead and we're not going to leave this room yet. Let's go ahead and let this countdown timer go down to 1 now. And the sound that Take hears is not that. This is not the same sound. So I think he's gonna set up the skeletons in sort of a perimeter, some sort of defense. Just try and maybe keeping the one with the harness back. Yeah, so let's maybe order it this way. Just kind of having these guys, and he's going to hide behind one of the sarcophaguses, one of the sarcophagi, and wait for whatever this is. It's clearly not the same thing. This is not a skeleton coming. So the countdown threat timer clicks down, and then out of sort of a one of the alcoves, in the wall with jars and canopic jars and whatever, plops out this thing, and it's actually huge. It's not small. This is big. So let's make this big. So it plops out of, like, it was actually small, but then it plops out and it like goes and so maybe it was squeezed into a big tube or something, but it comes out and blops down, and some sort of ugly ass gelatinous thing. And let me just really quickly check. I wonder, do skeletons take acid damage? But they have a touch damage as well. I think they're gonna cancel each other out a bit, because this thing is gonna do acid. You know, as a GM, I'm thinking this thing does acid damage, but the skeletons have attack death touch, that does a strength roll for magic damage, and I think they're just gonna annihilate each other. And so I think what we're going to end up doing is sending these skeletons in, and they're just going to attack and surround this thing. It's going to hear the noise from these skeletons, and it's going to come to investigate. And I think Take is going to keep these guys in reserve. But so we're going to just start doing yeah, we're just going to start attacking, I think. I mean, I don't even know that it's necessary to do all the rolling, because basically what we're going to do is it's going to, I mean, let's go for it. So you know, it's there. Each skeleton is going to attack and then get stuck, basically. So a 12 is a hit. A 20. So okay, so a 12 is a hit, and it's a strength with magical damage. Is a D8. Is so 6 plus. It's all rolls. Skeletons get all rolls. So I mean, I assume that also means damage, but so that's 6, and then the other one is going to do 2 plus ultimate is actually 4 and 10, so that's 14. 5 and 3. I mean, so we're already he's already 2 hearts down. And so let's do the next skeleton. Is an 18. That's definitely a hit. Magical damage. Whoa. What is that? It's a 3 plus 2 is 5. So that's another 5. And then the last skeleton is a 3, so that's a miss. So then these all 4 of these are going to get stuck on this gelatinous cube. So all 4 of these that attacked are going to get stuck in this thing, and it's going to end up doing acid damage. Oh, but it's not absorbed yet. So 1d4 rounds. So let's just do this collectively as a roll. So, well, one round is when they're going to get absorbed. And they won't suffocate. they're just going to take ultimate acid damage. So let's go ahead and we'll have it move. I mean, it's got all of these guys attached to it now. Oh wait, oh, wrong. Bloop, 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 bloop. Let's group them. So it's gonna, start coming in this direction. And so maybe these two are gonna use their spears from a distance to attack. Immune to damage from non-magical. Yeah, so the spears are going to be useless, but those 4 skeletons, let's go ahead and give them their attack. Oh wait, I'm going to use my magic arrows. I'm going to start blowing my whistle, and so we'll get 2 attacks on. We'll get 2 attacks in. Is an 8. It's just a +3, so that actually is a miss. And a 12 is a hit, so that's going to be a hit. And then so that's going to be magic damage. And that's 3. So this is 5. This becomes 5. So it's got 1 heart. This slimy thing has got 1 heart left. And so now the and now the skeletons go again. So let's do the first skeleton. Is a +2, is a hit, and it's the touch damage, so its magic is 4. And then the next one is going to be an 18. That's a hit, and that's an 8 is 10. So that's actually enough. That's enough to cause it to crumble. So this cube, this gelatinous, fatberg, the iceberg thing that's in the British sewer system that people are going on tours to take a look at. That's all the stuff coming that people have flushed down their toilets. Anyhow, so this thing is basically it's toast. The death touch of the skeletons has wreaked havoc on it. So let's go ahead and do. Yeah, there's only 1 loot. So we'll go ahead and mark down 1 loot. Let's do that on the shabby. Let's see if it's anything useful. Is a 20. Oh, nice! It's a gem of some kind. So we'll make a note of that. Page 117. Okay. So we'll have that evaluated later. But yeah, so we've got this this slime is dead. It's gone. And these skeletons were not absorbed. They got stuck, but they weren't absorbed. Let's go ahead and roll the next threat timer. Is a 4. Okay. Okay, so I think that's everything. Whew. That worked out pretty well. I mean, because my arrows were magic, so that would have worked. But I thought the skeletons were goners. But their touch is nasty. So that ended up being a really cool, a cool thing. So let's get everybody collected, and I'm going to move them off screen for just a second. But what they're basically going to do, Take is going to move with the skeletons to this door. Let's go ahead and do a listen at the door, and I think you would try and hear if there's anything. That's a natural 20. So he actually doesn't hear anything. It's whatever it is. It sounds like there's nothing going on the other side of that door, at least as far as activity, and he doesn't hear anything specific. With a 20, he would have gotten a perfectly good idea. So he's going to go ahead and open that door and then go to the other side. And then on the other side, what he can see from here is this room, and he can't really tell what's going on the edges, but in the distance he can see two more of those statues. But so he's going to go ahead and take a look from this vantage point to see and investigate these things. There's basically what they are is there's skulls, giant skulls carved into the walls of this room, and you know that, and they look like they're carved out of some sort of black stones that looks different than the rest of this, than the rest of the hallway, and then those statues. I think from this vantage point, let's go ahead. He's going to go ahead and look for like those other ones. I'm not going to move the skeletons in yet, but we'll know that they're just right on the other side of that door. So I think he's going to go ahead and roll. He's going to try and perceive from his stealthy hidden distance to see if he can see any flaws. And so he detects a flaw in this one right here that he can see from where he's at. So we're going to flip that one upside down. So we're going to go ahead and he's detected a flaw in this one, and so I flipped it upside down to mark it that we've got that. I think he's going to wait, and he's going to keep trying over and over again until he sees a flaw in that other one. So we're going to count this down to 3 on the threat timer, and he's going to go ahead and roll. And that was a that was a fail, totally failed. So he didn't notice anything. So let's go ahead and tick this down to 2. And he'll try one more time. And then we'll add +3 easy because he's been doing it a couple times. And it's a 4. I think at this point he's kind of going to give up. Threat timer is now 1. I think he's going to move the skeletons into positions. There's an awful lot of them. So I don't even know. So he's going to kind of hide in among them right now. Oh, this is ridiculous. Okay. So he doesn't know what's coming, but just in case, he's going to hide right here. And they're gonna wait for whatever it was. He can hear it in the distance actually now, and it's pretty obvious that it's another skeleton. So this other skeleton is gonna come in actually from that chamber. It animated and comes in and ends up joining the party. Okay. So I think what he's gonna do. I think he would just try and do the same thing and see if he could sneak past these buggers. He's gonna move these skeletons forward towards the towards those living living statues. But what's gonna happen is right about here. As he's moving these skeletons forward, they hit a pressure plate in the floor right here in the middle, and all of a sudden there's just arrows start flying like out one eye and in the other one, so that across the way, shooting between these skulls. Yeah, and so there's this wishing air sound as the this is like the that scene in Indiana Jones where and they're shooting across. I don't think the skeletons care much. Are skeletons even hurt by? I mean, let's be real. Okay, so let's see. Let's give the skeletons. Let's roll for each skeleton to get it across. So that's a 10 against a 12, but they get a +2, right? Skeletons get a +2. Yeah, so that was actually a success. So this skeleton made it across. And let's see, how about this one? So that one made it across. Here, I'm actually going to switch away from the dice. I'm just going to roll them. This one did not. So that one moves forward and is going to take basic damage, weapons damage, not basic damage, weapons damage from an arrow. So that's another 4. How many? This has 1. Okay, so this skeleton is dead. This skeleton just died. Let's do the next one. Is an 11, so that was a success. And let's roll this one. Yo, you know what? I'm gonna move these skeletons forward on either side as kind of a phalanx to block the arrows, so that we all move together, these last ones and me, and we're just gonna go through chonk 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 chonk. So let's go ahead and to be fair, let's roll 3 times. God, that's a lot of rolls, man. Let's roll once for each, and to see how much damage. Let's just give it as read that they got damaged. So let's roll weapons damage on each of them, on all 6 of those, and distribute it. Okay, and then let's roll my dex against the target of 12, so dex +3, so I've got to get 9 or above. Oh my god, it was a 1. Is it a critical fail? It is not a critical fail, but I do take damage, so I'm going to take... Oh my god, I took 5 damage. Okay, so here's how that came out. So I rolled the 6 dice of weapons damage, and then that was my damage. So let's go ahead and distribute those. Oh, here, hold on. Let's go back. I'm going to distribute these. Okay, so that one's taken care of. Here, let's move these out just a little bit. Okay, so that was a 6. That one got 6. That one got 6. And that one got 5. And this one gets 4. And that one gets 3. And that one gets 2. Okay, so that's the oh, and I took 5. So I'm gonna mark. I put the die down to keep track over here that I've got 5. And so let's go ahead and do that. So we'll go ahead and these ones are going to move into the stairwell. And then these ones are going to move up. And then I've moved up. And then, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to try and do the, I'm going to try and stealth past them. Oops, hold on. I got to leave that 5 there. So I've left my 5 damage over here. Oh, I didn't take into account my armor. That was stupid. Oh well. So I think on a 17 plus 3, and that's actually more than that. It's plus 6, so that's over 20 modified. I think that would be a success. We tried this thing where the skeletons got in the way of those statues, and then I snuck by. So I think that is fair to say that was a success. Okay, so let's move these guys off screen. And so I've snuck, I think Snake Take has managed to sneak past those living statues, and managed to damage almost every single skeleton in making that happen. So okay, so that's going to take us to the next room. And so let's get all of our skeletons. I think at this point I'm not rolling a threat timer anymore. Any additional skeletons are gonna go out the other way, like towards town. Okay, so wow, what do we got going on here? This is super big room with a giant sarcophagus in the middle, ornately carved, but it's huge. It's gigantic. This is not a human-sized thing. And it's on a raised platform in the middle of this room. Okay, I'm just double checking. Okay, so what happens is so Take is from here. Take is going to take a look in the room. Take a look, and just see what he sees. And no particular results on that. I think he's going to go ahead and he's going to eat one of the spider bites. I gotta remember. 2d6. So let's roll a 2d6. So that was enough to heal entirely. In preparation for this last bit. So he didn't notice anything. I mean, he can see that there's a pile of stuff on the far side of the room to investigate past the sarcophagus, but as he's looking, he doesn't see any particular traps or anything. I think he'll send in a bunch of skeletons ahead. And, maybe keeping these in the back. And then, so he's going to enter the room and then have these skeletons behind him. But what happens next is, as Take enters this room, there's a sort of some sort of mechanical noise of some kind. Oh, well, yeah, no, he didn't see anything. Yeah, sort of a humming coming from this room, like this room is vibrating now as he's entered into this room, and all of a sudden, a bunch more warriors, a bunch more skeletons show up. Hey, chill. So, let's see, we've got 6, 9, 10. So, 10 more skeletons show up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 skeletons animate from the corners of this room. One for each entity that entered this room. And they just, from all the different back corners, they animate all of a sudden and come up. But of course, with Take's necklace, they start to march forward menacingly, and then as they enter this sort of sphere of influence, they come under the influence of that necklace. And Take is, totally freaked out, but at the same time, all of a sudden they're under his command. And they're standing as if they're waiting for orders. And, maybe he tells them all to touch their nose, and they all touch their nose in unison, which is totally freaky. And so we're going to roll a threat timer on this room, and it's a 1. So we've got a threat timer of 1, and something else is happening. The humming is still going on, and so he's in this room with these skeletons, waiting for something to happen, and I think he's just going to wait because he knows something's happening, and instead of trying to do something, maybe he's going to sort of hide back here a little bit. And I think that what happens next is that as he's waiting, the threat timer counts down, and then all of a sudden, out of this central sarcophagus, a hand emerges, like the top starts to move, and a gigantic skeletal hand comes out, and out of this sarcophagus comes this gigantic, huge, like 8 foot tall skeleton with a crown and a massive, massive sword. And the minute that happens, all of a sudden, the necklace starts to burn on Take's neck, and so something's and then something's happening, and it's like this. He has to. It's burning his flesh, and so he has to grab it, and he yanks it off and throws it to the ground before and he takes. Let's actually give him some magical damage. So he'll take 1 magical damage from that, and so I'll put that on the board. And the minute that he drops that necklace onto the ground, every single one of these skeletons, like it's like that scene. I can't think of another scene that describes this, but that moment in Malcolm X, when the Nation of Islam is outside the police station, and they all turn and they do parade formation outside of the police station. Like, that's what happens. Every single one of these skeletons, all of a sudden, the minute that necklace comes off, just their attitude completely changes to one of menace, looking at Take. And I think that Take is gonna look at that necklace that was controlling them, and he knew from talking to that merchant that destroying the necklace would destroy these skeletons, any skeletons that were under its control. And so he's gonna try and stomp on that necklace before anything else happens. So this is, in desperation, we're gonna try and destroy that fucking necklace. Oh man, and it was an 18. It was an 18 roll. So Take leaps on that burning necklace and stomps on it. Yeah, is he only going to stomp on it? I mean, he's going to use a sword or something. I mean, one of the weapons. What has he got? Oops. What does that shadow dagger do? Oh, it does magic damage. So we're going to do magic damage to it. And it'll be a +1. And he's gonna blow on that fucking whistle, and do 2 actions. But so that's 2. So that's 2 damage, and he's gonna roll again. I don't think that did it. So he misses on his second time. And what that means is that these skeletons, holy crap, I think he may be dead. So these skeletons are all going to march forward. These 3 behind him are going to march forward. And these ones are going to march forward. I think that's as many as can get close to him. But, I mean, the rest of these are going to start marching forward as well. Holy crap. Wow, this is going to be bad. Oh my god, this is going to be horribly bad. So we've got 7. I don't think that's not fair. There can't be 7 around him. There can only be 6. Like a hex, you know? There's just not enough room for any more. So he's got 11, 12. So he's got 12. They have to get above a 12 to hit him. Okay, so let's start just working around. We're going to start with him. Oh god, it's a 17. And his basic weapons damage is a 4. So that's 5 total. And then we'll go with this one. So 5 total damage. Then the next one in sequence is a miss. The next one in sequence is a miss. And probably should have been a fumble. Oh my god, shit. That's an ultimate. Oh god. Holy crap. Oh my god. You guys. He just went unconscious. Oh my god. He's unconscious. Oh, take. Oh my god. Oh man. Oh man. Okay, well, there we go. We're gonna have to find out what happens to Take next, if anything. Because he is unconscious and surrounded by skeletons and a skeleton king. So I wonder what happens next. I may have to roll a new character. Well, if you're watching this video, it's probably too late to give me any suggestions. But I might wait a couple weeks. I might go run the Warp Shell adventures for a little bit. But that was an epic adventure with Take, trying to do the impossible by himself, and totally got screwed at that end right there. Probably should have known that those skeletons would not be allies forever. Take did kind of a dumb thing at that point, but basically, yeah, we'll see what happens. But so next, I'm gonna run probably a couple weeks of Warp Shell. So feel free to email me or get in contact via Twitter and make any suggestions on what you think. Maybe he's dead. Maybe you think he's dead. Let me know. Or if you are wanting to do the sort of Akira Kurosawa, the Hidden Fortress thing, where it's an impossible situation. So now you have an opportunity to send in something and suggest how would Take get out of this. What would happen next? Yeah, what would happen next? Is there any way that out of this impossible situation where it looks like it's over, it looks like Take is dead, what opportunity is there? Can you think of one? I just thought of 2, but I'll save those for next time. But we're gonna leave it on that cliffhanger. Take is apparently just went unconscious, and surrounded by skeletons, and then the Skeleton King in the Lost Tomb. So, there we go. Thanks for watching, and I will find out what happens when you do. Bye. Oh, man.